build it. He will.
It's the Skinny on Sports Podcast with Aaron Cowk.
I throw balls far. You want good words? Data language.
Talk real sports with a real man.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
And now, here's the be-all, end-all, know-it-all of high school, college, and pro sports. Aaron Skinny Cowk with the Skinny on Sports.
We're talking about practice, man. I'm the MVP.
Good Garrison Financial Friday out there, Western Oklahoma. Welcome to the Skinny on Sports right here on 98.1 FM, the Sports Animal. Glad to have you along for the next hour with some college football at the end of the show. What's a successful weekend in Stillwater and Norman? Which game or games are you excited about watching this weekend? Nebraska. Man. Man. Is this what it feels like to be like the more successful brother? And just look at your screw-up little brother or non-successful one and just shake your head like, you keep on doing the same thing wrong, bro.
Like, when are you going to get it together, bro?
Are you ever going to get it together?
When are you going to get it right?
Man, once again, Nebraska. Florida. I had a text last night during the...
I was going to say SEC.
we were all prepared to put on our SEC boxer shorts this morning, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I didn't get to watch, obviously. Jared and I didn't watch any of these live. But during the game, I was told Utah might have 3 better quarterbacks than Florida does.
Yeah.
Including the 2 last night, and obviously Rising. High school football, Elks won. But what's going on tonight? And then you heard that voice. It is a Garrison Financial Friday. Scott's here, and we're gonna do some investing.
Investing.
We're gonna do an investment game. You know how you used to do those in high school? They'd give you a couple $100, and you'd invest in things for a semester. That's what we're gonna do this first semester. But we're gonna invest in college football teams against the line. That's a nice way of saying
Gamble,
yeah, right?
That's not investing. Right.
I did homework, Scott.
Yeah.
I got it written down.
So we're going to do that right off the top of the show. Everybody starts with $100, and we all use the same odds. And we were picking. You can use your 100 however you want to. If you want to use it on one team, that's fine. If you want to use it on a bunch of teams, that's fine. Hey, and then you can, like Jared, he was telling me, if I filled out one of those risk aversion deals, I would be at the low end of the risk.
Yeah, I'm not a risk taker when it comes to money.
I saw it. I think he's got like 20 teams picked.
I spread it out. It's from here
I
up.
picked 8.
That is
2,
definitely
4, 6, 8, 10. I got 12.
So I picked 8.
Between 12 teams.
That's a well diversified portfolio, Jared.
All right.
That's how I roll in my household.
So we will get to that right here off the top. I've got to send the link out. Don't forget, this is the last day for the Western Oklahoma Realty College Pick'em contest. We're almost to 100. Almost. So close.
Well, everybody's playing for second place.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like I said.
And the good news is this year, after I win, the second place will get to win. They'll get to win since we can't anymore.
This is what I got to work with
Yeah,
right here.
no doubt.
Yeah.
It's going to be me. It's the first year that I've done it. I mean.
Now, define win. Like win the last place prize?
Oh, that's also winning.
That's winning.
This year it's winning.
It's money in your pocket. How many? We need how many more?
Pull the Arizona Cardinals and see if we can tank the season.
Ooh, they're trying, aren't they?
Yeah. Yes, they are.
Hey. And what'll be crazy is
That has to be the easiest
who
head
is their
coaching
quarterback
job right now.
Who's their quarterback? Josh Dobbs?
I don't know.
Is he the one? I think he's the one they traded for, right?
That's
After they
who
cut
got.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'll do something like Geno Smith did last year.
Yeah.
And they'll look around going, "Oh my God, really? We're in the playoffs? Are you kidding me? What just happened?" Caleb! He'll be like Tom Hanks. "I'm so sorry, Caleb. I love you, Caleb." And then they're looking at 6'5" Caleb or whatever he is, and then their head will just slowly go down and see 5'6" Kyler and go, dang. What a tough break that was.
Jeez.
Oh, we got that little kid at quarterback still. What happened? And why does he have a pot belly?
Why are his thumbs all calloused over?
Poor Kyler. Poor Arizona. I wouldn't recommend it.
But that, like I was saying, that's the easiest coaching job right now, right? They just hired this guy. They're going to fire him in 1 year. Is he a placeholder until Lincoln Riley is hired? Jonathan Gannon. I had to
Is
look
that
up,
who it is?
I had to look up who it was.
I thought it was Steichen. No, he went to Indianapolis.
Where's Jonathan Gannon from?
He was one of the coordinators at Philly.
Okay.
A couple of those Philly guys got jobs. Shane Steichen and Gannon off of
gotcha.
last year's team. Oh, yeah.
Easiest job. He's like, hey, I lose. I'm okay.
He's cleaning
They
hell.
want me to
No,
lose.
there's an easier job in football. I promise you. It's right up here. It's called the 7th grade play caller for the junior Elks. That's the easiest job
I
in
thought you were
football.
going to say the PA announcer.
Decure. Let's change it up. Left. That's the easiest job there is.
Little razzle dazzle. Let's go.
Yeah, we might
right
even throw it to him
again.
this time. Anyhow. Good morning. I haven't pulled up the text line yet. Let's see. 225-9698 is the phone or the text line. You can play along with us if you would like. It is Happy Dom McKinley Day. Boy, I hope that's right. You know who Dominic McKinley is?
I don't guess I do.
He is a 5-star defensive tackle from Louisiana that is making his choice today between the Sooners, the Horns, and the Aggies.
The Sooners, the Horns, and the Aggies.
Yeah,
and he's
not
from
LSU.
Louisiana.
And he's from Louisiana.
Wow.
Yeah, how crazy is that?
Wow.
LSU not in the mix.
I guess so.
We might
Kelly
have-
doesn't. Kelly might need to start recruiting a little bit better.
You don't see that very often. They don't get out of the boot very often, but this one apparently is going to. Nobody really knows. Some people think it's going to be the Sooners. Some people think it's going to be A&M.
Well, he's
Texas
supposed-
seemed like the favorite, and then kind of.
I've heard it's down between OU and Texas. And
Yeah.
and he's, 3 o'clock our time?
I think that's right.
3:30, and he has a game tonight. And if this means anything, Todd Bates is apparently going to be at the game tonight.
At his announcement and the game.
Why would the coach be there and then plan to stay there for the game?
If he wasn't going to pick OU.
A lot of signs are pointing towards Norman, so I don't know. And this could be the David Stone effect. Because before David Stone, there's a lot of lean towards Texas, and now since that, there's been a lot of smoke going towards OU. So
Talk about lean towards Texas. Does the national media ever pay attention to what happens after week 4 for Texas?
No.
I mean, ever?
No.
When was the last time Texas wasn't picked in the top 2 of the Big 12 preseason?
I think last year.
That's a good
honestly, last year, nobody
they-
had any faith in them last year. Most people thought it was going to be OU and OSU,
Yeah, that's true.
you know.
That's true.
Well, but
you know what
to your
I'm
point,
saying.
though, we looked it up the other day. What do you think is the highest Texas has ever been ranked in the 9 years of the college football playoff poll?
That's a good question. I'm going to say 15th.
Almost 17th,
Yeah.
and they've only been ranked like 3 of the 9 years.
Oh, but they're gonna be in the playoffs.
We were talking about important games for the playoff, and trying to find one that Texas has ever been in.
they're already done.
That's kind of our point. Unless you know what, the most important game they've ever been in, as it was to the playoff, was 2019 when Joe Burrow came back and beat them, and that launched that juggernaut LSU team.
Yep.
They were at least on the field for an important game. Feeling feisty. Hey, Jared, real quick before we start doing the money thing, tell everybody one more time about the scam, the rodeo scam, the rodeo
the
ticket
tickets.
scam.
There was a fake link going around claiming this is where you can buy rodeo tickets. and it's not real. There's only one online source to buy tickets. It's elkcityrodeo.com. The statement they said if you're paying $11 for seats or $15 for grandstand seats, you're paying too much and you're getting scammed, basically. I don't know if they're being scammed or scalped. That hasn't been really clear. But point is, they're either buying up tickets and reselling them or they're just not even real. And you don't want to give your information to this website. So elkcityrodeo.com. You can go over to Circle A. I know we're going to have a remote over there today.
Yeah,
KCO
3 to 5.
is 3 to 5. You could buy tickets there. And in fact, I believe they have their box office open at the rodeo grounds where you can go and buy some tickets. But don't go to this. I mean, if you see it floating around, I haven't seen it personally. Not looking for it. Not even going to try it. But elkcityrodeo.com. If you want to buy some tickets online, that's the only way to do it. And we've provided that link on our socials. Simple as that. Just be very careful what you're clicking and who you're giving your information to. I mean, just look out for it.
Yeah, last thing you want to do is go in there tonight with what you think is a ticket and have to sit on somebody's lap because they have the real one.
Right.
Probably not going to happen.
And then rush home to check your bank account.
I mean, how about? Here's the. What if you got two little kids go, hey, we're going to a rodeo, and they're excited. You get up there and sorry, sir, these tickets aren't real.
Yeah, be terrible.
You don't want to tell your kids sorry.
And no offense, in the grand scheme of everything that could happen to you by this, that would be the easiest one.
Yeah.
To deal with.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, children. Oh, somebody's got a cute name on the Western Oklahoma Realty College Pick'em. Horns by 49. Haha.
Well, they don't get to live it up like
Isn't that
this
cute?
all the time.
If you'd have continued out, you should have put, and Dylan Gabriel didn't play.
Right.
There wasn't enough, probably
Played
enough
that tight end
spots.
at quarterback.
Just teasing. Listen, I'd be doing it too. I'm not going to lie. For 365 days.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's the whole point of winning that game.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. So here was the task. Everyone starts with $100. Look through the conference championship odds of all 5 power conferences, and you could absolutely divvy up your $100 however you'd like. If you wanted to put all your eggs in one basket, you can do that. Or if you wanted to kind of spread the wealth, try to hit some home runs, maybe try to take some safe ones, you can do that as well. Jared clearly has picked the most teams out of the three of us.
Jared might take the whole show.
So we'll let him go first. So and see how fast Scott and I may have to talk like it's commercial there that we to get everything in.
All right, we'll start with the. I put this in like confidence of the conference. Does that make sense? Like conference, anyways.
Like who you really think's going to win?
Look at how you broke some of this down.
So I didn't find it a lot of sense to put a lot of money, if any, on Georgia because they're such heavy favorites. So if I wanted to see a little bit of return, I put $10 towards Alabama, another 10 towards LSU.
Okay, so hang on a minute. Let me pull up.
You doing the odds?
Yes, I'm get the odds.
I got it right here if you want them.
I know Alabama's plus 300.
Right.
So you have $10 on Alabama.
Correct.
So if you win, you turn your 10 into 30.
Into 30?
30,
then
3 to 1.
I did the math wrong, so that's good. Okay. It's more than I got.
What do you think you're going to get? 13?
I must have went. I mean, I had to go to a calculator. And
3 to
find
1.
this. Yeah.
Plus 300 is 3 to 1, so 10 times 3 is 30.
So don't look at this, Scott. Money guy. You're going to make fun of me.
Scott's like, you need to come down to
Matt
me
says-
because your return ain't near as good as it ought to be.
This is why you're on the show, Scott. This is why I do go, yes, you're
Scott
right.
had his eyes going different ways like that ain't right.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to do the math like, okay, how much if this team and these teams won, what would my payout be? Which I'll do that later. LSU, another $10. So they're plus $450.
So $45.
There you go. Then I went $10 toward, and going to the Big Ten, I went $10 towards Michigan.
At plus 170. So $17.
And then I had another 10 towards Ohio State.
$16.50.
Okay, now we're spreading them out in the Big 12. You ready for this?
Oh, my. Did you pick everybody?
I got 4 teams, $5 apiece to Kansas State.
Oh, geez.
It's plus 500.
So 25.
OU.
Oh, that's a little bit tougher. $17.50.
Texas.
You put $5 on Texas?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. What would that be?
Well, don't worry about it because they're not going to win.
Yeah, that's true.
You clearly have been listening to earlier
Okay.
conference picks. And probably my biggest payout, TCU. Plus 1,600.
So $8 on TCU. No. 80. Sorry, 80. Yeah, 1,600.
In the ACC, I put 10 towards Clemson and another 10 towards Florida State.
$14.50 and $15.
And then $5 towards USC and $5 towards UW, Washington.
Okay, so you just essentially looked at the top of every conference and picked them.
No, I didn't pick Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, but what I'm saying is, you're right. You were very risk averse in your selections. Outside of the Big 12, which nobody
I'm not
has,
a gambling degenerate like you two
which
are.
nobody has any idea what's going to happen in the Big 12. So that was by far your biggest
exactly.
payout.
There's
yeah.
a lot. There's
I got you.
Yeah.
Hey, nobody's
And then
judging
the
you here
top
other than
two were
Scott, the
the-
money
no.
guy, is judging, but I'm not.
But I gave my explanation for Georgia.
Oh yeah, For those
so there's a little bit. There's the risk, right?
Georgia's
right.
minus 115, so that means you're going to have to,
I'd have to throw
$11.50 to
yeah,
we 10.
I have to play a lot of money towards that to
That's right.
have some money. But that's why I went with Bama and LSU, and we mentioned the Big 10 or Big 12. We think Michigan and Ohio State are the two to beat in the Big 10. We wouldn't shock if whoever wins that one. And same thing with Florida State and Clemson. I lean Clemson, but everyone's leaning Florida State. I'm more of a show me what you got, Florida State.
I'm changing mine on the fly when I get there.
Go for it. And does in USC, listen, it's still the Pac-12. I know they have the flashy quarterbacks and all of that. It's going to be fun to watch, but there's still that USC defense that lingers. So that's why they only get $5 from me.
Okay, Scotty.
I probably should have made a change.
I'm putting more money on the one that I. Anyway, go ahead.
After last night, I didn't think. I mean, maybe Utah should get some consideration.
Yeah, they ain't gonna do it. Don't worry about it. You're fine there.
All right, so I'm up.
You're
I'm
up.
Not, I didn't. I mean, wow, that is.
I couldn't sleep last night. I got homework I forgot to do.
Man,
I got to figure this out in the morning. Why am I going to do this?
You really were, weren't you? You were that kid that stayed up all night long.
Just rolling.
Nerd.
I was
You probably even took calculus in high school. Didn't you?
Oh, no, I did not.
Oh, okay.
Listen, math is not my strong suit. That's why I hire people like you to handle this stuff.
Okay, so I actually, the Big 12 is the only conference that I split up.
Okay.
And I put 10 on Oklahoma and I put 10 on TCU.
Okay. So you guys both in that same boat.
Yep. So then I went over and I am actually agreeing that USC's defense isn't going to get it done.
Okay.
They're not going to get it done. So I actually am taking Oregon.
So you got plus 300 with Oregon.
Bo, see if Bo can get her done.
Okay.
All right. So I got $20 on Oregon.
Ooh,
Yeah.
There you go.
I like it.
Well, I was going to do just $20 all the way across the board.
And then you decided, no, I'm splitting
TCU,
up the big. Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I'd like to put $100 on my Sooners and not worry about it, but I don't.
That's
have
really
that
where
kinda-
I thought you'd go.
I don't have that kind of confidence.
When I thought of this game, I thought, well, that's going to shorten the segment because Scott's just going to go 100 on OU plus 340.
Yeah.
Let it roll. Let's go.
I'm actually putting $20 on North Carolina.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
I like your thought there because
yeah.
here's the thing: they're plus 1,000,
Exactly.
plus 1,000.
Yep.
If I was a risk taker, I'd be right there with you.
So I am, and then this one might shock you too. I'm putting $20 on Wisconsin. They only have to win one game.
Queue up on Wisconsin.
You know what?
The West of the Big Ten
You're
is
so
terrible.
Honestly, it's so. I screwed the Big Ten up.
The West of the Big Ten is terrible.
Yeah, it is.
So they only
Did you watch that pillow fight last
all they
night?
got to do is win the championship.
Minnesota and Nebraska. Jeez, that's a better move than what I did. It really is. That's a better move. Dang. Now I'm jealous. Now I'm jealous of what Scott just did there. Okay, so I went $10. I didn't go Ohio State, Michigan either. I went 10 of my dollars on Penn State plus 600, but that was stupid because they're in the same. But here's the thing:
they got to win 2 out of 3.
They got to win, but if they get there, they're probably the better. Yeah, probably the better team than whoever the hell they play for the West.
That's true. If they can just get there,
and they can get there. But like you said, though, Wisconsin has a way better chance of getting there. And then one
with
game
a full roster,
plus 750, plus 6. I messed that one up. I also did not trust USC and that defense. I took a little bit of a flyer in the Pac-12. I put 10 of my dollars on Oregon State plus 1,100.
No, you did not.
Yes,
he
I did.
He's been high on the Beavers.
Listen, DJ Uiagalelei can't be that bad, can he? Here's one that it was hard to write down on a piece of paper. I don't know what's going to happen. Like Georgia, it's not worth spending money on them, minus 115. So I went to the other side of the conference, and I was looking for, okay, what if Bama doesn't have a quarterback? What if LSU is overhyped? Who's next? And I actually put $10.
You picked the Aggies.
I did. Plus 1,400. 10 of my dollars went to A&M. In the Big 12, it's an absolute crapshoot. And so I looked down through who has the most odds that I think could do it. And to me, that was an easy choice. Plus 4,000 with Oklahoma State. Who knows? But at plus 4,000, you can have 10 of my dollars.
That's a good point.
Just in case.
That's a good point.
Let's see.
It's a better
else?
pick than Oregon State.
And way better odds. Way larger odds.
There you go.
I also drank a little bit of the Mac Brown Kool-Aid for 10 of my dollars at UNC plus 1,000. I've got the Sooners at $10 at plus 340 since I picked them to win the conference the other day. I felt like I had to spend some money. Originally, I had Clemson for 10, and I thought, and as Jared was talking, it's like, that's stupid. It's 4 plus 145. No. So I'm going to move that Clemson dollars, and now instead of 30, I'm going to have $40 on Bama. Because when is the last time you got plus 300 on Bama winning the SEC?
That's a good point.
Never.
That's
maybe Saban's first year. So just because of the value you finally – normally Bama's the one that's minus.
Yeah.
And you get plus 300, 3-1 odds.
And Saban's been cocky.
That's what I love about it.
Saban has been cocky.
I picked him to win the national championship because of Saban and being just chilled out, cool, no big deal.
Yeah. He knows something we don't know.
I know. It's Jalen Milroe. Hey, you remember the last time it was like this? Nobody knew who the quarterback was going to be, who we're going to pick. It's going to be this guy. It's going to be that guy. You remember who you picked? Another Jalen.
Oh, wow.
Hurts as a true freshman. And all he did was get him to, Deshaun Watson away from winning a national title.
Yeah.
Joining Jamel in that group of freshman national title quarterbacks. So, yeah, Saban seems way too comfortable. Way too lovey-dovey.
I don't think I'd ever want to
play.
play.
If only Deshaun had gone and gotten a massage.
Yeah, they had him. He probably
game.
did, and they covered it up at Clemson.
I don't think I'd ever want to play poker against Saban.
No.
Like, why are you grinning? What do you know? What do you got?
Yeah, he'd be pretty good.
What kind of cards you got?
I don't think that you'd ever play poker.
Oh,
Have you ever gambled?
Yeah. Fold.
I mean, looking at this, I don't know if you've ever gambled.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Penny poker, like you guys pull out.
We
the
would have
jars
poker night
of,
in college, and we would play.
The jars of change.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what we bet. We bet money. I can't remember what the stakes were.
Of course, then a package of ramen was a big deal. So,
If you had a good hand, you'd push all in with the mac and cheese microwavable ones that were really good.
We would play. Everybody would play, and we would even let some of the girls play. And there was this one girl that.
I get it now. I get it now.
No, it wasn't that kind of poker. I promise you. But we can never read her. And then Troy was like, well, maybe that's a lesson in life, Jared. You can't read a woman's face there. You can't get past her poker face. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure.
I gotta just. I'm like reading through the book of James now, holding my tongue. I have so many things I want to say. I'm just not going to say them. Oh, heavens.
Dear.
All right, Scott, what's going on down at Garrison Financial?
Oh, we're just having a good time. We're getting together with clients and helping them navigate the waters. might not be quite as diversified as Jared's portfolio is over here.
Yeah, come see me if you want to get.
Oh no, we're having a good time. We're helping people make their money work more efficiently. Lots of great opportunities out there to make your money work in a very efficient manner at this point in time. So come down and holler at me. If you need a plan, if you don't have a plan, just come on down and let's take a look. Let's see what we can do.
Scott at SoonerWealth.com. 124 North Main Street is his address. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, you guys have a great weekend.
It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
College football is back. Do you have anything on the menu for the Sooner game tomorrow?
I got a brisket thawing out right now.
Do you really? I knew it. I knew you'd have something special for us. All right, when we come back, we'll talk about last night, the Big Elks, high school football coming up today. And, of course, we'll eventually make our way into the weekend of college football as well. Skinny on Sports right here on a Garrison Financial Friday.
Hello, my name is Scott Garrison. You may remember me as Scott the Barber or just as Ron and Carla's son. I've been involved in our community since opening Scott's Barbershop on the southeast corner of 3rd and Main in 1998. Now I'm back in the same building as Garrison Financial. I started investing in my 20s. I invested through the dot-com crash and the Great Recession. I started caring for other people's money in 2018, and I truly enjoy sitting down with my clients, understanding their wants and needs as well as what keeps them up at night. Whether my friends just want me to invest a little of their savings or want me to work with their tax and legal professionals to strive towards optimal efficiency, we can do it all. I believe communication is key to helping my clients reach their goals. For if we are faithful over a few things, we shall be given more. Contact me at scott@soonerwealth.com. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Garrison Financial and Cambridge are not affiliated. This communication is strictly intended for individuals residing in the states of Colorado, Nevada, Oklahoma, and Texas. No offers may be made or accepted from any resident outside the specific states referenced. Cambridge does not offer tax and legal advice.
The Skinny on Sports.
Yeah, they say this guy scratches himself better than he throws a ball.
Welcome back. Skinny on Sports right here on a Garrison Financial Friday, 98.1 FM, the sports animal. As you heard from Scott, man, he can do it all. He can make you a plan, full financial plan. He'll shop the open markets, bring you your best value on your life insurance and your investments. Scott at SoonerWealth.com, 124 North Main Street, right here in Elk City. It's Garrison Financial Friday with Scott. All right, Jared, last night, one of the first 3 Thursday night football games for the Big Elks. Bridge Creek came to town. It was a game that I think both of us assumed would be a bit of a snoozer. And, the game would be well in hand by the time the halftime show started, and that's just not the way it went. As Bridge Creek came out, they were the more aggressive team. They were the more hungry team. They were the team that appeared that they wanted to be there a little bit more than what the Big Elks were, and it kind of showed in the play. It felt like the entirety of the first half was played in Elk City territory, no matter who had the ball. The Elks finally kind of gained some traction there at the latter stages of the second quarter, hitting a couple of big pass plays. Cole Bowie was awesome, scoring all 4 touchdowns, 3 through the air, receiving 1 on a pick 6 on the defensive side, which was the only score for quite a while in that game by either side. The Elks do win 28-8, run the record to 2-0. But I think in the back of everybody's mind was watching the performance and watching the product on the field. I think it was impossible not to think ahead to what a performance like that looks like the next 2 Fridays, and even, quite honestly, to start the district over in Clinton.
Yeah, I will try not to be too pessimistic, but I'm trying to be optimistic, to be honest with you. And the stuff that I thought was going against the Elks last night were kind of, dare I say, self-imposed. Knowing who the opponent was, so not able to get up for the game, it being on a Thursday night, so you had a short week to prepare, knowing you didn't have school the next day, so maybe a lack of focus. You had some key players sitting out for precautionary reasons, some key starters, Garbarino namely, all of that. But I say all that, not trying to inject excuses, but and I said it last night, this program is at a different standard where all of that shouldn't matter, where it should come out. You should still perform. You should put your foot on the throat of a team that you should be easily handling. Give Bridge Creek a lot of credit, though. They came out inspired. I thought I was kind of eye opener for me was how much they had some experience, a lot based on their classifications of some certain players. But I say this all the time. When you are a heavy favorite, you cannot let the underdog hang around, because that's when they start to believe, they start to get inspired, like I just said, and you gives themselves a chance to win. So, back to the drawing board. Even in a win, didn't feel like it, didn't feel good about it. Back to the drawing board, hit the reset button, and prepare for a tough gauntlet of games the next 3 outings.
Yeah, and I think it, as much as anything, to me, it's a compliment to where this program has come.
That's kind of what I was talking about last night. Yeah.
To win 28-8, never really in danger of losing that game after halftime. A 3-touchdown win, and it's like the feeling is you lost. That's a hell of a long way from 22 straight losses just 3 years ago.
Right.
So it's a huge compliment, I think, in a lot of ways, to be pretty disappointed about the performance in a 3-touchdown win from where this program has come. But it's also, that's the expectation you get when you start to reset what the standard is. Mm-hmm. And I don't think, well, they're watching the film right now. That's not going to be fun.
No. Whatsoever
up there right now. But at the same time, I also think when you saw at the end of the game, Daniel even referenced it, with what's happened in the post game on the field with the students, and the football team wasn't really interested in any sort of celebration. To me, that's a good sign. That lets me know that what happened last night, even in the players' minds, obviously, if you listen to the post, with Zach, he was frustrated as all get out and disappointed in the performance. But to see that reaction by the players themselves, that lets you know that they realize that ain't good enough. And that's not – it was good enough to beat that team, but it's not going to be good enough to get us anywhere near what our expectations are as a team later on down the road. And it's got to be better in order for those goals that were set by that team going into the year to even get close to being accomplished.
Let's be clear that, and I just want to get this out there publicly, yes, disappointed in the performance in a win. Again, weird to say, but and it has kind of that hollow feeling walking away like, man, won, but it could have. I don't want this to overshadow how awesome Cole Bowie was last night.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He showed up. He showed out. He carried the Big Elks last night, and everything we're saying should not overshadow the fact that he was awesome on both sides of the ball. And it felt like every other play we were saying his name.
That's what I was going to say. In the first quarter and a half, first half, it seemed like it didn't matter who had the ball. We were saying if something good happened for the Elks, his name was mentioned. Mm-hmm. He playing a different position defensively due to Cooper not being in there. And then also, if you notice, Alex Kupp was back there at a safety spot due to some missing guys up front. That means Garza had to come down as an outside linebacker. Alex had 2 picks as well on the defensive side. So, but it seemed like Cole was trying to get to raise everybody else's emotional level up, and it just fell flat. Like he just couldn't get everybody else to come along and play with the emotion and with the heart that he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It felt like he was trying, but it just was one of those nights. And listen,
well, it's like when there was something about to get going. after a first down play, 10, 12-yard pass, whatever, and then boom, false start. Boom, fumbled snap. Boom, and then you're going backwards. You're suddenly behind the sticks again on a 3rd and long.
Yeah, it was just one of those nights with the way the game went where you're right. I mean, we come out, third quarter, very first play, Jaden had been completely shut out of the first half, gets 10 yards, and you're like, okay, next play, he's got a hole, and it's a false start. You know, it's just – it was one of those that the offense just simply never got on track. But credit Bridge Creek. And here's the deal. The Elks are going to see a blueprint, if there wasn't already one out there from Cushing last year. I mean, I get that there's some different things going on this year as far as the motions and kind of from the pistol, getting a couple steps back away from the line of scrimmage to try to let things be able to develop or whatever. But a blueprint is out there now on how to discombobulate this offense. And so the challenge for the players and obviously the coaches as well is to use this to their advantage and take it and make people pay for playing the way that Bridge Creek did last night. We saw it in glimpses. You know, I mean, heck, Coach Nichols called the play on that 4th down. Like, their linebackers are coming out. The middle is wide open, and sure enough, Cole was in the slot, and he runs like a little square in. He beats the safety trying to cover him, and there's nobody left. It's over. See ya, touchdown. Nobody's catching him. You know, and those are the things. You know, we saw a screen or two work to the outside. So, I mean, there's clearly things that they're being worked on and adjusted to what Bridge Creek was doing. And you also wonder, you know, even as frustrating as it was, still at 3 touchdowns, how much do you really want to show what you've got to counter that stuff?
Yeah. Here's something else. I think for the first time, even going back to last year, there's a target on this team's back.
That's right.
They are the preseason district favorites. They are a top 5 team in most polls, if not all. Everybody, there's no secret about Elk City anymore. There's no secret about them. They've gone to 2 back-to-back semifinal appearances in Class 4A. Now everybody wants to knock off this team. Everyone's like, okay, they're one of the top teams in 4A. We better be ready for them. We're gonna go get them. We're gonna go shock them. So there's gonna be that's just not from last night. This is gonna be every game moving forward.
Oh, wait till it's the district.
Exactly.
When you're the defending district champion. And especially a couple of teams that reside right here on this interstate that were beaten by the Elks in the same season for the first time in decades. No, there's no doubt. It's a different feeling. And the thing about it is, it's also a different team. When you lose 18 seniors off of the previous 2, you've got guys trying to figure out their roles, trying to step up into those shoes that need to be filled. And it's going to take time. We've said that from the very, very beginning. The team that's at the end, the team that goes up to Taft Stadium at John Marshall in Week 10 ain't going to be the one you saw last night. It's just not. It's not. It's going to be improved from there. The question is how much improvement can be made. And I'll just go back to the fact that we're sitting. It's crazy to think with where this program has come in a very, very, very small amount of time. To feel like a 20-point win was a loss, but that's kind of the way it felt last night with just the way things went. But still 2-0, and now the game that a bunch of the kids, a bunch of the fans, a bunch of the Texas Panhandle has been waiting to see. Is now next on the docket, so you can start thinking about Canadian. That'll be next Friday night out there in the Texas Panhandle. Ought to be a fun one. All right, tonight, I think most eyes will be in a couple of locations, at least in 4A. Weatherford hosting Kingfisher. Kingfishers are beaten 20-0 by Clinton last week. Weatherford coming off a loss. I'd be pretty shocked if the Eagles don't bounce back and get one in the win column tonight at home on Woody Roof Field against Kingfisher.
I'll be shocked if C.J. Nixon's held to 1 catch again. I don't think that's happening. They'll get it going. I think they're going to be just fine.
And then McGinnis comes to the Tornado Bowl in Weatherford. I am fascinated to see what happens in this one.
Yeah, me too. Well, we were joking earlier about what the Oklahoman would pick, and I'm taking the under if there's any kind of a bet there. They picked McGinnis 42-35.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't think that's a thing. I think both teams
either.
play really good. I suspect McGinnis plays really good defense, disciplined defense. We saw last week what Clinton can do with their defense and how physical they can be. This is in the Tornado Bowl. I think it's going to be one of those slobber knockers, 14-10 type finals either way. I'm interested in Clinton. I'm interested, can they use what they did against a so-so Kingfisher team to get better against what we think is a really good 5A team in McGinnis? Even if the Oklahoma doesn't think so, we think so. I'm interested in them. Let's see if the defense can slow down McGinnis enough where Clinton's offense, it took them a half to get going. If they can get going early with their run game, well, we could have a really good game tonight.
Yeah, they got the three-headed monster at the running back spot. Contavion Hill. Last week it was Zayden Collins. I think 18 carries, 204, and a couple of touchdowns, including a 75-yarder. And then Darren Hester as well is back there. So, Clinton's got I think they only threw 2 passes. Sully only threw 1. The other was a halfback pass by Hill. That was they didn't have any yards. They were 374 on the ground, 0 passing. But guess what? I'm sure that Coach Higbee don't mind that.
Well, if I was looking at box score and they see that stat and they see it's next to the C in Clinton, shocker there. Mm-hmm. That's all they do is run.
Elsewhere, right here on Paragon TV tonight, you've got the Merritt Oilers looking to bounce back off of an opening season loss against Hinton last week. They'll be on the road at Cordell. That's 7 o'clock. James will have the call there with the Oilers and the Blue Devils. And then also down in Class B, the Hollis Tigers get their season started tonight at Wilson. So the Tigers get things going on Paragon TV. Also a 7 o'clock start for Hollis at Wilson. That was a game that Hollis won easily a year ago against Wilson. So a couple of different options on Paragon TV tonight for the high school football. Also, real quick, before we take a break and get into the college stuff, congratulations to Coach Murray and his Elks. Huge week this week, knocking off Woodward, and then yesterday beating Bethany 1-0. Aubrey Pogue threw a one-hitter at the Lady Broncos, and so Elk City now alone in second place behind Weatherford in the race for the top 2 in the district. Those top 2 will host regionals in a couple of weeks. We'll be back here on the Garrison Financial Friday.
Hello, my name is Scott Garrison. You may remember me as Scott the Barber or just as Ron and Carla's son. I've been involved in our community since opening Scott's Barbershop on the southeast corner of 3rd and Main in 1998. Now I'm back in the same building as Garrison Financial. I started investing in my 20s. I invested through the dot-com crash and the Great Recession. I started caring for other people's money in 2018, and I truly enjoy sitting down with my clients, understanding their wants and needs as well as what keeps them up at night. Whether my friends just want me to invest a little of their savings or want me to work with their tax and legal professionals to strive towards optimal efficiency, we can do it all. I believe communication is key to helping my clients reach their goals. For if we are faithful over a few things, we shall be given more. Contact me at scott@soonerwealth.com. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Garrison Financial and Cambridge are not affiliated. This communication is strictly intended for individuals residing in the states of Colorado, Nevada, Oklahoma, and Texas. No offers may be made or accepted from any resident outside the specific states referenced. Cambridge does not offer tax and legal advice.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
The Skinny on Sports.
That's what I'm talking about.
Welcome back, Skinny on Sports, 98.1 FM, the sports animal, wrapping up a Garrison Financial Friday. A little college football. What's a successful weekend, Jared, in Norman and in Stillwater?
Win and look good. Don't let these teams hang around you. There's no reason they should. Absolutely no reason. These are layups. They need to come out. The good spots need to shine. The question marks, we need to walk away positive saying, okay, that was a question last year. They made some off-season acquisitions and hopefully see if they got improved there, and they did. It appears that they did. There's really no reason to go into the second quarter up 3-0. They should take care of these teams.
Yeah.
I mean, it should just be one of those pageantry days in Stillwater and Norman where everyone's walking away from a win, go, oh, that was good, that was good. Oh, man, the new running back looked good, all that stuff. You're feeling good about the season. We shouldn't feel like a OU versus Tulane a few years ago.
Yeah, that could have been a loss.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm looking for. That's a successful weekend for me.
Yeah,
for both of them.
Look good.
Just look good.
No injuries, obviously, would be nice. You can't control that kind of stuff. But here's, like in Norman, for instance, just reading this from Locked On Sooners account on Twitter. Arkansas quarterback J.T. Shrout has a career completion percentage of 46.7. For his career, he's thrown 12 touchdowns and 11 picks. What does that tell me? If Arkansas State gets in double digits points, that's not good. And I know there could be extenuating circumstances to that. You know, if the offense fumbles inside the 10 or something, you know, there can be ways where, okay, you can kind of see it.
Yeah.
But just in the normal run of play with what Arkansas State has athletically against Oklahoma, that defense needs to show up. And
I mean, that's one of those
like 17. I don't care how it happens, unless their defense scores 17 is unacceptable.
Right.
Absolutely unacceptable number.
I want to see, if we're going to get specific with OU anyways, the secondary. There's been times we've seen the passing games like this where wideouts are wide open, and a quarterback just didn't make a throw, and you go, boy, against a team that can throw it, that's going to be a problem. You know, I want to see what the secondary looks like, the corners especially.
Yeah, and I mean,
they're not going up against all world wide receivers.
Well, I'm on the other side of that. They should, the only way they could be able to move the ball is to throw it. There's no way they should be able to run the ball in Oklahoma. Right?
I completely agree there.
I mean, this should just be a mismatch athletically. Up in Stillwater, you know, I want to see. You know who I really want to see? I know I can't remember. I said Shetron or somebody yesterday, or Ollie Gordon, I guess is who it was. You know who I really want to see? I really want to see how much Garrett Rangel has developed, because I think he's going to be the quarterback.
Do you?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I do. I think he's going to be the quarterback. I want to, I mean, Bowman's going to start. And it's nice to have him. Obviously, is some experience, even though he hasn't played in like 3 years. But I want to see how much he's developed, because it's not Zane Flores' job yet. The young kid from Nebraska. He's not apparently ready. And I don't think anyone feels like Gundy can do the job. So that leaves it on Garrett Rangel's shoulders. And we saw some good and we saw some bad from him last year. I want to see, even in a test like this, where he's at and how long it's going to take for him to take the reins of this offense, basically. Like, is he gonna show out to a level of, all right, thanks, Alan, appreciate that. Garrett's going to start next week at Arizona State. I'm interested by that. By the way, I don't think we've mentioned it. We mentioned this off air. What is that? What was that show? Was it Lamb Chop? The song that never ends. This is a song that never ends.
Right, yeah.
And it goes on and on, my friends. That is what conference realignment has been this summer. Because
I thought you were talking about Nebraska.
No, Nebraska too. That'll come up in a second. But Stanford, Cal, SMU have been voted into the ACC. 12 out of the 15 ACC members voted yes. Do you know? Can you guess what 3 said no?
Said no to bringing these in?
Yes. You can guess them.
Clemson, Florida State, Miami?
North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina.
Yep. Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina. The 3 that were throwing fits about money.
Yeah.
And not getting enough.
Yeah, it should have made
They'd
sense
be the
to me.
ones, that voted, we don't want to split more money with them.
Right.
But they have been voted in. So, 2024, everything's going haywire. Well, you are catching a bunch of flack about not playing fantasy football with us
No
anymore.
one asked
on
me
the
this
text
year.
line.
No one asked me this year.
Well, you quit last year.
I didn't quit. I
back.
couldn't make the live draft because I had prior engagement. That I paid money to go to that. Sorry.
It's not bothering you. They're just trying to get under your skin. Will it work?
No, it's not going to work. Jerk faces.
Which games are you most interested in this weekend outside of OU and OSU?
This is going to sound weird, but how about Neon's debut at Colorado? By the way, put all the money on TCU. Just a 20.5 favorite. It feels like they should blow them out of the water. But interested to see what kind of iteration of Colorado shows up in Fort Worth. That could be a fun one. I'm always going to have my eye on USC, in particular USC's defense. Does Nevada score points on them like San Jose State was able to do last week and move the ball and all that? So I'm interested to see that.
Oh, Drew's got receipts.
Okay. I'm not a quitter. I didn't quit. Good Lord.
This has obviously been a planned attack on you.
Feels like it.
It does. Now that
No, listen, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not getting into it.
Okay. What else?
He has my number. North Carolina, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Seems fun. And LSU, Florida State. There's some obvious answers here. Clemson, Duke. I did write one down that I think a lot of OSU fans are going to keep an eye on. South Alabama at Tulane.
Yeah, that's a sneaky. Really, I don't think people realize how good South Alabama might be.
I mentioned that yesterday in our worst case, best case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
South Alabama can beat OSU on a good night. And that game is at South Alabama, am I right?
What? No.
No, I'm wrong.
Surely not.
I'm wrong. But Tulane's only a 6-point favorite against South Alabama. I heard this somewhere. I love to give credit where credit's due. I'm not taking credit for this, but they bring back a lot of players from a team that I think won like 10 games last year.
Yeah, I think that was Todd yesterday, maybe with Mark.
It was like a week and a half ago.
Okay, so he was talking about this game as well.
In fact, I think it was Jim who said it.
Could have been. Yeah, Jim's been talking about the Jaguars of South Alabama for a little bit too.
Because of South Alabama's future game with OSU, Tulane that coming off the win against USC in the Cotton Bowl, they might be overlooking South Alabama to go to Ole Miss. Watch out, South Alabama. So that game at 7:00 tomorrow might have my interest.
Here's why you remember them. They went 10-2, end up 10-3 after the bowl game. They almost beat UCLA last year. How did UCLA beat?
That's right.
And end up losing 32-31.
That's right.
Yeah, the Jaguars.
Yeah.
South Alabama. I mean, honestly, the Florida State LSU, that's an easy answer. But I am super intrigued with North Carolina, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be honestly the first time a lot of people have seen Drake May.
Yeah, the line's flipped, by the way. It opened South Carolina as a favorite. Now it's flipped back to North Carolina.
What?
Yeah, it opened South Carolina as like a 1.5 favorite.
And now North Carolina's
North
favorite?
Carolina is a 2.5 point favorite. So I guess a lot of the money came in for.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to check on the Western Oklahoma Realty College Pick'em line for us.
Does it stay?
Ours doesn't change.
It stays at the
whatever it came at. Whatever it came at is what it stays at.
All right, let me check that.
I've got it right here. I've already got it pulled up. North Carolina getting 1.5.
Maybe I read that wrong.
Who's favorite now?
North Carolina's at 2.5.
Minus?
Yes.
Yeah. So this line has flipped 4 points. It went
Did you just say South Carolina?
No. North Carolina plus 1.5 in our game.
Okay.
And now North Carolina's minus 2.5.
You said plus?
Plus.
Oh, yeah, now it's minus 2.5.
So that's 4 points.
Right.
Here's a free tip for everybody playing the college pick'em. Now, it's not always going to work this way. There's times where it doesn't. But I'm going to tell you right now, when in the course of the week you see a change like that, it ought to tell you something. This should be everyone should pick the same team on this one if you're paying any attention to any of that. Everyone should pick the same team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to explain what that means. I'll just give you that free tip. I'll explain it on Monday what I meant by that. How about that?
When you hit on it?
Well, I don't care who wins. No, here's the deal, because you may not always win in this situation, but when you're getting that many points worth of value, you have to pick one of those two teams. You have to. And if it doesn't work out, you do the same thing next time, and it's going to work out way more often than it doesn't.
What games are you interested in?
North Carolina, South Carolina, maybe even more than LSU and Florida, or LSU and Florida State. That's a fascinating game to me. I would love to see West Virginia give Penn State a fight. I just don't know if it's going to happen. I want to watch Penn State, though, because I think Penn State is really good. Drew Aller at quarterback, I think, changes the dynamic of that team. If he's as good as he was, if he lives up to the recruiting hype, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think that Penn State could be – they're the team nobody's really talking about that's preseason in the top 10 because of Ohio State and because of Michigan. And that I think they're in a good spot. And that, there's a little intrigue with Prime, even though I think they're going to get absolutely mudholed. Absolutely mudholed. And then I know it's not against the best competition on either team, but two of the biggest boys in the sport, we don't have any idea if they have a quarterback.
Ohio State.
And Alabama. And even to some extent, Georgia. Even though I think we all think the rest of Georgia's team is good enough to where that doesn't necessarily matter. And there's always intrigue down in Austin. What does that team look like?
Right.
There's always that. For anybody that, lives in this state and roots for either OSU or OU, you're always kind of looking down south to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So even though there's not really, there is, Florida State and LSU. But doesn't it seem like there's usually 3 or 4 of those big either home games for somebody or even the more than one really big neutral site game, at least with one team? It's kind of lacking that, it feels like, a little bit this year.
I think that's been put on pause until conference realignment
Probably
settles
so.
down. But even when that settles down, we kind of talked about this last night, was why schedule those big non-conference games when you got to go through a gauntlet of a conference like the new SEC, like the new Big 12, like the new Big 10, now the new ACC, right?
Yes.
So expect a lot of Maines and, Arkansas, Pine Bluffs, and all those.
Yeah, I think that's I hope that's not true. And
I hope it's not true either.
I hope when the playoff people are meeting here in the next week or so,
mm-hmm.
and I hope that with 12, I really kind of hope there's no automatics, and you get to just the 12 best teams. That opens it up for the possibility to have those, right?
Right.
Then those out of conference matchups might continue because you have to have the schedule is going to matter a little bit more if everybody's in the same pot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Picking out from. So that's what I hope happens. I'm going to guess that's wishful thinking, and we're going to get a lot of Maine, Furman, Citadel, whoever. Name your doormat.
Yeah.
But
we
shall see. Don't forget, so right now, at this point, you have 25 – no, you have less than that. You've got 24 hours, and let's call it 50 minutes to get signed up for the Western Oklahoma Realty College Pick'em. We are so close to 100. We have added 5 more as we've talked here this morning. Just 6 shy of 100. Let's get there. I'll fire out that link again on our Facebook page, Skinny on Sports. If you know my number, or if you want to text this text line and get the link, we'll send it to you that way as well. Skinny on Sports, Western Oklahoma Realty College Pick'em contest all throughout the year, but you have to start picking tomorrow. It's free. You win $400 if you win. $200 for second, $100 for third. And as you mentioned to Scott earlier, if you get last and pick every game, you still get $100.
That's free money, man.
And I dare somebody to
money.
try to miss them all. Just see how you do.
Someone will try, and they'll get one.
Everybody have a great weekend.
You've been listening to the Skinny on Sports podcast with Aaron Cow. Be sure to hit that subscribe button to get alerts of when the latest podcast is available. Thanks for listening.
That ball is blistered to right. Way